Hi, I'm Becky, also known as Workout Woman, and I coach women through perimenopause. I help them to become stronger, fitter, healthier, so that menopause in turn is easier for them to navigate. So I hope that this video presentation will give you some tips and strategies needed to tackle this life transition so you can absolutely thrive and become a more powerful version of yourself. Okay, let's start by understanding the science behind menopause. Menopause itself is actually just one day, and it's the day when it's been a year and a day since your last period. Now, that varies between women as to what age that happens. The time leading up to that is perimenopause, and again, the length of that varies depending on who you are, family history, and so on. It can last up to 10 years, I'm sorry to say. It can also be a lot shorter than that. But it's during this time that our hormone levels begin to fluctuate. And we start to notice perimenopausal symptoms like disrupted sleep, mood swings, brain fog, weight gain, all joyful. There are so many symptoms, I couldn't possibly list them all. And again, these can all vary in severity. And again, between women, everything's different. Some people experience a lot, some people experience very little. But they can often affect our ability to take care of ourselves. But it's really important to remember that you're not broken. Just like puberty, actually, menopause is a really powerful transition for a woman, and it actually offers lots of opportunities to reevaluate our lifestyle and work out what's important to us. So there's lots of things you can do to ease menopausal symptoms. And the first thing I would say about perimenopause is that strength training is your secret weapon. It's my favourite thing. It's the thing I bang on about the most because it really, really is important. And as we age, it needs to be a non negotiable. We lose muscle mass as we age, and this is accelerated in perimenopause as our estrogen levels decline. And we also lose bone density. Now, strength training prevents this from happening. So why wouldn't you do it? We need to hold on to our muscle mass and our bone density because as we age, that protects our body from things, falls and bone breakages and things like that, and osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, so many other things. Muscle also burns more calories on our bodies than fat, and that's what motivates me because you can eat more. Um, 2 to 3 strength sessions a week, about 20 minutes each. That's enough to help regulate mood, build lean muscle, lower blood sugar, lower blood pressure, boost metabolism. It also really, really boosts mental well-being and increases energy levels. Basically, it makes you feel like a badass, like you can take on the world. And you can, because you're a powerful woman. Thank you. So, in addition to strength training, steps. You've probably heard the phrase eat less, move more, which conjures up images of starvation and endless exercise. But that isn't the case. Movement is important, but it all counts. All movement counts. So, cycling, swimming, walking the dog, cleaning the house, digging the garden, anything like that, regular movement, and in particular, getting outside reduces stress levels, improves sleep pattern, lifts mood, and it really, really does lift mood. I would say don't beat yourself up about 10,000 steps a day. That's an arbitrary number invented by the fitness industry because it's a nice round number. But if your current step levels are like next to nothing, then just 4,000 steps a day, you're going to start seeing a difference. For most people, 6 to 8,000 steps a day is a good number to aim for. And you should see a difference with that. Sometimes it will be more, sometimes it will be less, but that's how life goes, isn't it? And if you're short on time, consider exercise snacking. So it's a great choice if time is an issue because you can split it up into 5-10 minute blocks throughout the day. So a walk to the end of the road and back, a brisk clean of the bathroom, do squats while the kettle boils, dance while you're hoovering. That's what I do, much to the abject horror of my children. But do everything with an element of briskness. Really put some oomph into it, and then you'll reap the rewards. Now, in addition to all of that, we come on to nutrition, how to eat during menopause. Now, it's really easy to get bogged down with nutrition. And you will see and hear about all these fad diets aimed at menopausal women saying that they can get rid of your menopause middle or whatever it is. But the basic fact is we have estrogen receptors on every cell of our body. And because we're women, most of our estrogen receptors are in our womb. Now, as estrogen levels decline, we begin to store fat in those areas. And so, yes, menopause middle is a thing, but it doesn't need to be. And it's not complicated to not gain weight around that area. Going back to the points we've just looked at, 2 to 3 strength training sessions a week and daily movement, they both help hugely. But on top of that, aim for as much of a wholesome diet as you can and minimal processed foods. Now, half of your plate should consist of veggies because you want lots of fiber in there. A quarter of it should be lean protein because you want protein to help build muscle. And fill the rest with healthy carbs. So things like whole grain rice, pasta, beans, and healthy fats. Now, we don't need as many calories as we get older, which is endlessly disappointing. So, do keep an eye on portion sizes and be honest with yourself. But also, I would say don't be too rigid. An 80-20 split is a good way of looking at it because life is far, far, far too short to deny yourself an ice cream in the summer or a mince pie at Christmas. None of these things make you a failure or mean that you should feel guilty or that you should punish yourself with more exercise. Absolutely no need. Just enjoy good, healthy food, lots of it, and the occasional treat foods. Alcohol should be kept to a minimum, really. Hangovers last about 87 years when you get older. Ask me how I know. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying a glass or two of something, nothing wrong with that at all. But keep in mind that it does increase cravings for processed sugary foods, and it's also empty calories, usually on top of what we've already eaten. Now we come on to rest. So sleep is so important, but it also can be really, really difficult to obtain during perimenopause. Rest is essential. So if sleep is eluding you, at least aim to be as restful as you can. So to that end, limit alcohol and caffeine in the evenings. In fact, I've stopped having caffeine from lunchtime onwards now, and try and lean into your natural circadian rhythm. So your natural waking and sleeping cycle, which will look different for everybody. Breath work, some yoga, some stretching, journaling, reading a book, they can all help empty your mind before bed. But I also appreciate that's easier said than done because we are women and we're juggling huge numbers of things all the time. But also no screens before bed. We implement that rule for our children, so let's implement it for ourselves as well. So in addition to those, we come on to supplements. Supplements are big business. A lot of them are complete fads, but this is the list of what I take. And I do notice a difference if I don't take these. So creatine is one of the most safest, most researched supplements out there, and I would recommend it for any woman in perimenopause. It helps support muscle mass and bone density. It's very cheap to buy, easy to take. I also find magnesium is really great for my sleep, and vitamin D is recommended in this country during the winter months from October to March because we don't get enough sunshine. Protein powder is not necessary. You do not need to take it. It does, however, make a nice little snack if you're looking for something to fill you up, and that's how I use it, usually as a snack in the middle of the day. So all these things aren't separate to one another. They need to work together, and they can support each other when other areas aren't working as well as they should. You won't always want to exercise, for example, and that's okay. But what else can you do that day? Can you get outside for 10 minutes, or can you do some gentle stretching, eat a protein-filled breakfast? An equal five-way split would be wonderful. Let's be realistic. It's just not going to happen, is it? Um, because life happens and it's not always perfect, but we can try. We can aim for these things. It is about progress, not perfection. You can't all be me, can you? Yeah. The irony. So take small steps to be better every day. Change won't happen overnight, and you won't always be motivated, but you can always be disciplined. Make time for yourself an absolute non-negotiable. Okay. Put it in your work calendar if you need to, block it out on the calendar at home, tell your family, whatever, even if it's just 10-minute blocks, like I said. I always try and think every day, what will make me not murder today? Sometimes that's lifting weights in a gym. Sometimes it's meeting a friend for a coffee and going for a walk. Sometimes it's just spending some time with my children. Sometimes it's putting my favourite music on and cleaning the house because the mess is getting to me. So pay attention to how you're feeling and your cycle and your moods, and try and build a routine that accommodates that, but allows for some flexibility as well. Don't be too rigid and too hard on yourself, and appreciate the fact that day to day things might change. So to finish then, the key takeaways, I guess, is that it doesn't need to be complicated. These takeaways are a good starting point, and some weeks they'll feel really achievable, and some weeks you will feel like you've got a mountain to climb, but that's okay. 2 to 3 strength sessions, daily movement of some sort, and eating for energy, sleep and recovery, all good. But just take small daily steps towards those things. The best is yet to come. So be kind to yourself, because I have seen so many women thrive in menopause and beyond, and they're living their best lives now. And I really want that for you as well.